Hi everybody, me Malcolm here again, and today we have another figure review that we didn't really do for a little bit after that Robbie the Robot Forbidden Planet figure review we did a few days ago. So we decided to do more of these figure reviews, and now we have the Jupiter 2, but I prefer calling it the Gemini 12 because that's one of my favorite Jupiter 2 designs. This had bigger windows, and also it didn't have the thing underneath for the legs, but whatever, it's fine. It did came with figures, but I kind of lost them, so I couldn't really show you. They're probably in my room or somewhere, but we'll find it soon. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool little prop version of the ship. I would rather, put, something on top to, not let the interior shown because it's not accurate. I also got to repaint the controls inside. They have to be silver, and also the chairs need to be black, just like in the show. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And here's the underneath of the Jupiter 2, or I call it Gemini 12 or whatever. I'll just call it for the Jupiter 2 for now, and we'll go back to the Gemini 12. And yeah, this is the TV show version of the Gemini 12, I prefer calling it. It's a better title for my opinion. It also has a red light. Some of them also had, different lights. It does work, but I'll show you that at the end. And yeah, that's basically all the stuff we have at the outside. Well, let's get to the interior and the bottom's legs. And maybe at the space pod door. We don't know for sure. Let's do this. Okay, so now, this Jupiter 2 actually has an interior, just like I said before. Let's take a look at the space pod doors. Instead of using that very cheap-looking version of the space pod, instead I used the Shiny Lightning space pod instead to make it fit better to the show, but I know it's not in the right position because it didn't really fit, so that's the only one that I could try to use, so I'm sorry I had to do that, but whatever. And also we have this little hole, that's where we would take off the top of the Gemini. See? We have full interior by other fans who do the same thing. You also have a little bit of a window interior. I actually might get a little camera so I could do those scenes where the Jupiter 2 is about to crash on the planet, because you can see the windows are actually clear and you can actually see through. The controls are correct. I mean, none of the inside is correct, but the chairs are in the right positions. The freezing tubes here are not in the right positions. There's supposed to be other equipment, and also some of the other stuff was not supposed to be on the Jupiter 2. I might redecorate it to make it look better. The floor had to be white. I think you can also take off the freezing tubes. It's pretty cool. I really wish there was an openable door so you could actually slide it and there would be a hole here so you could see where the characters are looking for. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but I could do that. Maybe someday. Not the door, I mean the window here. To make it look more realistic to the show. Alright, so instead we are going to go down to the bottom. Now this Gemini 12 actually has lower legs for the Jupiter 2 scenes where the Jupiter 2 lands to a planet where it crashes down to the planet and it would go on to other planets. You can keep it in this position, or you can just use the lower legs just like I showed you before. So I like keeping the legs down to make it look nicer. But now we're just going to place the lid back on just like where it's supposed to be for. And yeah, this thing costs a lot of money. I would not really let a kid play with it because it's a very expensive object to get, for your own opinion. So yeah, you could put the legs up. That's about it. I might show you another review of this fully in person by showing you what it would look like if it was in color. So now we're going to the light effects. So now we have the dome here. It actually does swivel, if you didn't know that. Some fans didn't really notice, but when I got it, it moves a little bit. See how I'm moving it? Just a tiny bit. And if you didn't know, there's a button here. That's where you would put on the electronics. I have new batteries in here to keep it function. Okay, so we'll do several sounds. There's only 3 sound effects of this ship. Okay, here we go. There's also a light in front to make it look accurate, but it's not really. But here you go. So there's one here. But then we go to the bottom, there's like this little, the fusion cord that we've seen in the show, and here you go. Watch this. I actually wish there was like more lights to make it look like it's actually spinning like in the show, but unfortunately that's not the case, but watch very closely. It's actually pretty close to the actual show version. It's pretty cool. And that's it. Oh yeah, there's the battery compartment underneath. And yeah, it also has like a little bit of a black squirts to make it look like it's been crashing on planets, to make it look cool. And yeah, I didn't really do much of a Lost in Space review for a while because I only talk about Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea more often because that was the very first show I actually ever watched. It was actually one of my most favorite television shows. And that's it. Oh, I might use a Sharpie to make the window see-through to make it look like it is, but we're not doing that right now. But yeah, that's about it for the Gemini 12. It's pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye, everyone.